So guys, Zajin again, fucking leaving the gym, bro. It's fucking 1:43. Fucking can't really see the pump right now. Maybe you can kind of see it. I mostly did legs and then I, split shoulders. So going off of my first video, fuck, I'm fried. Nah, I just hit the meanest pump in the gym, bro. I need to get a camera. I need to get like an official camera. So like, because honestly, I'm gonna start bringing the, I might start implementing workouts, like some of my workouts, like the ones that I do, Marine Corps, and how I just make shit up as I go, targeting like all my muscle groups, like compound lifts and shit like that, and split exercises. I actually almost hit a fucking plank hold, like a calisthenic fucking plank hold. But I have been working out for, let's see, I got in there at 11. I got here at 10. It's 1:44 right now, so I've been in there 10, 11, 12, 4 hours really, just working out. Let's see my little, I hope YouTube doesn't have a problem with that. Honestly, I'm gonna have trouble getting my fucking shirt back on, my hoodie back on. But yeah, actually, just so you guys see, I am actually currently at the gym. It is 1:45, and I've been in there for 4 hours. So no cap when I say, I think I have a problem. It's like, no matter how hard I work out, or how long I stay in the gym working out, it's like it's never enough, And then like, I'll leave the gym like, fuck, I could have kept fucking going, right? But then it's like, I'm already tired. So it's like, bitch, why you so fucking tired, right? It's like negative self-talk or whatever. Lately I've been trying to, transmute that negative talk. Transmute that into positive, or if it's not going to be positive, it at least would drive me, if I'm throwing weight, like, oh, you got one more in you, motherfucker. You got one more in you, motherfucker. You better not put it down. You better not put it down. You better not put it down. Like, that's how honestly, I might make a skit. I'm thinking about making a skit where it's like, I'm going to be lifting, what people see, and then it's going to be like, what's actually going on in my head? You know what I'm saying? What people think's going on in my head, what's actually going on in my head. I might make a skit like that. That'd be pretty cool. Just to let you guys get a little bit of a insight into my fucking psyche. I said I was gonna go off the first video. I'm actually not gonna go off the first video. Or you know what? I might. I want to talk a little bit about falling, or failure. Everybody falls in life, right? Oh, also, I do vape, but actually, can you guys see this? This is gonna be my last pod. It's actually almost out. Like that last little bit of juice right there in the tip. It's gonna be my last pod right here. I've been trying to quit for like the past 2-3 weeks, but situations at home and over the past 2 weeks have been like really stressing me out, I guess you could say. And whereas like I'm normally cool, calm, and collected, when I have this, something happens and it's like, oh fuck, I'm just like, shit, I'm trailing off. What was I saying? Okay, talking about failures, falling in life. Everybody does it, If you haven't, then, are you really trying to live life? Are you living life how you should be? If you're not failing, that's good on you, especially if you're like doing really good in life and you haven't failed not once. That's really good, but that's also a double-edged sword, because that means if you haven't failed, which I feel like 99.9% of the human population has failed at some point in their life to varying degrees. For those 1% that have never failed, I feel like if they fail, like actually take an L, that'll really fuck them up, because, it's their first L and they won't know what to do. So if you're failing in life, I congratulate you. because everybody's been there. And if you're not failing at life and you are doing good, then I congratulate you because that means you're doing something right. Just don't get to, life is fucking like a roller coaster. It could take a turn for the worse. Did I break my vape? Oh yeah. See, in my last video I said things happen for a reason. The amount of times, like I said, I've been trying to quit for like the past 2 weeks, and I already broke this vape. Shit, I mean, it's almost out anyway. Yeah, I already broke this fucking vape. Let's see. like I said, my mind just jumps all over the fucking place. That's probably the universe's way of saying, all right, then motherfucker, this is the time to quit. So I'm gonna do my absolute utmost best to follow the plan, to follow the guide. But back on failing. See how I just all over the fucking place. Like I said, if you're not failing in life and you're successful in everything that you do, that is awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, especially if you're making a living or if you're doing something that you really love that sets your heart on fire. It gives you purpose. It gives you a reason to keep going. That's good. But I congratulate both people that are failing and people that are being successful. Now, for my failures in life, people that are failing, maybe you fell back to back. Maybe you fell, maybe you fall like a little bit, maybe you get tripped up, or maybe you take a really hard fucking fall, face plant, type shit. Failing is an important part of the human condition. A little bit about me, a little bit more on me, personally. My biggest failure, actually, I've had multiple failures in all areas of life, but that's how things are. But my biggest failure was when I got caught drunk in Japan when I was in the Marine Corps. If you guys don't know, if you are stationed overseas and you get caught breaking the law or breaking whatever law it is, you get NJP'd. We call it Ninja Punch. Ninja Punch is really quick, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you can't dodge it. It's because it's like that. It's called a Ninja Punch for a reason. That was my biggest fail, and like I said, things happen for a reason. In my first video, I mentioned I'm a big universe guy, right? Things happen for a reason. So leading up to my biggest failure, so far, like, to me, this is my biggest failure, but it was also my biggest success because of the comeback that I had made. And if you ask my staff sergeant, I don't want to name names. I don't think I should name names. But ask my staff sergeant, ask my sergeant, ask my lieutenant, ask my corporal, ask my brothers, ask, anybody that was in my circle at that time, from when I had got arrested all the way till when I had left, which was December. It wasn't December. It was November. When did I leave? When did I leave Okinawa? It was in November. I think it was November 12th. November 12th or 11th. From when I had got arrested, from when I was ninja punched, more on that, and to when I had actually left, that was my biggest failure and my biggest success. It was a double-edged sword because I learned a lot. I learned more than I had learned in 2 years, because I got arrested in 2022. It was October 2022, and I had been in the Marine Corps for 2 years. Was it 2020, 2021? I had been in the Marine Corps for about 3 years. 2021, 2022, or 2020, 2021, 2022. I'm still fried. It's fucking 1:53 right now. I'm sitting in a gym parking lot. That was my biggest failure and my biggest success, for a simple reason. And I'm gonna tell you why I have this. I'm not gonna say it's a fact, because everybody has their own beliefs. I don't want to, I believe, you're wrong, this and that. I don't want that in the comments. I want the channel to be open. I want everyone to be receptive of ideas, no matter where they come from. Take everything with a grain of salt. Do your own research type thing, but don't be negative about anyone else's viewpoints. If you could try and see it from their angle, if you could try and see the opposition's, you know, if you could try to see it from their angle, right? Vice versa, both ways, you know? That's how knowledge is built. That's how things are, you know, that's how things progress. That's how people connect, you know? But I keep trailing off. So my biggest failure was getting arrested in Japan on November, October. See, fuck. It's 1:54. Let me slow down. My mind right now is fucking all over the place because I'm just super excited. I feel like I broke a record, but I still feel like I haven't done enough. So let me just slow down, dude. So my biggest failure was when I got arrested right after the Marine Corps ball. So prior to this, so before this, I was at a unit called the ISO team, right? The ISO team, the COVID ISO team. If you guys are in the military, if you guys are specifically in the Marines, they had these little reaction teams for COVID when COVID was still a big thing. You know, what they would do is, you know, if a Marine tested positive for COVID, we'd go pick that Marine up, put them in a separate barracks with a bunch of other sick Marines, and wait till they tested negative, and then we let them back out into the, you know, let them back out to their unit. That was our way of negating the spread of COVID. When I joined, COVID wasn't that big of a deal, so this was like early 2022. I want to say like from January to April. Yeah, April. So when I was in the ISO team, right? Keep in mind, before I had joined the ISO team, I was very by the book. Showing up on time, getting things done on time, following orders, not really talking back, you know, staying in my place and shit like that. But when I got to the ISO team, I had started to realize that the ISO team operated very differently from the normal Marine Corps apparatus. It was actually it felt very separated from the Marine Corps, for the simple fact that motherfuckers were doing what they wanted. And the thing is, I had heard about it before I had actually gone to the ISO team. You know, people were like, oh, you know, you're going to get sent to the ISO team. You know, you're going to go help out over there for a couple months. And I was like, what's the ISO team? So, you know, you start asking around, start asking people, like, dude, ISO team doesn't do shit, man. All they do is fucking party. You know, you work like a couple days out of the fucking week. Some people don't even show up at work, man. Like, it was shit like that. Like, so, you know, me being me, so if I have a set structure and it works, I'm not going to press the boundaries, right? But if I find out there are loopholes in the structure for me to, it's honestly, I'm hard-headed. And also it was probably very bad of me to do this because I actually trailed off. Like I was doing this, and then I joined ISO team. I did this, and then I did this, you know? I became a very, very selfish, independent Marine, because like I said before this, I was always, you know, yes sir, I ma'am, yes staff sergeant, no staff sergeant, I corporal, no corporal, you know, very by the book, you know. And in my first video I mentioned I do have a problem with authority. My problem with authority is, you know, if I don't already have respect for you, or like you don't show me a reason why I should give you my respect, if you're an authority figure and you're trying to order me around, right? You know, if you're like trying to boss me around, like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, if you don't have my respect, I'm gonna look at you sideways until you earn it, right? Especially with people that, with people that people that haven't earned that trust and that commitment, right? Because if you are in the military, then you understand that there are people that get promoted. You know, people get promoted from fucking lance corporal to corporal, or corporal to sergeant, or sergeant to staff sergeant. There are people that get promoted and they are absolute fucking retard. Well, I don't say they are absolute. It's very questionable, right? So, you know, I learned that early on. You know, I would do my job, but it's like, you know, hate the motherfucker that was ordering me around, especially if they didn't deserve my respect, especially if I knew them long enough to know that they didn't deserve any respect, right? So that's what my problem with authority is, right? You can't just boss me around and not have my respect, right? Like, I'm gonna give you the same respect, but with the moment you start trying to like get in my shit, especially when I'm doing something you ordered me, and then like, you come back down like, hey, why are you not moving faster, or some shit like that. Like, bitch, like, you're not even fucking helping, especially in the Marine Corps, fucking supervising. Corporals will be like, yeah, I'm supervising them, but like, corporals are still they're working super. You're supposed to be a working supervisor as a corporal. Sergeants and staff sergeants and above can be like, yeah, I'm supervising. They have the right to say that, in my opinion. I digress. So my biggest failure was when I went to the ISO team, and like I said, I did this and then I did this, or I was like this, ISO team, down. In the ISO team, when I had learned that people were skipping days, people were skipping work, like, people were taking at egregious days off of work, I started noticing it. Like, okay, well, they broke it down into teams. You got A team, B team, C team, D team. They all got their own shifts. They all show up to work at different times so they can manage the sick Marines and make sure food gets delivered, and make sure that requests are delivered and made, and make sure that everything is running smoothly, so that when a team picks up, it's not like, hey, why the fuck is this Marine telling me that he ordered shit from 2 days ago, or this Marine's asking for help. He's been asking for help for 2 days, and no one's been helping him. There's 4 teams. There's no reason for that, right? But I started realizing that motherfuckers were not showing up to work. And if you're in the military, that's not a fucking thing. It's not like you just don't show up to work. It's not like the civilian world where if you want to quit the job, you can quit the job, right? It's not like the civilian world. Like, that shit is ninja punch, That shit is reprimandable, So I started realizing, I started thinking like, wow, these motherfuckers really don't. And it wasn't just junior Marines. It was like corporals, some of the sergeants that were on that fucking team. And, when I started realizing it, I was like, wow, I could do this shit too. Especially since I've been by the book. Like, I kind of deserve the break, in my head. I was like, I've been working so fucking hard, I've been doing this, certain Price has been, leading me, even though she's being a bitch and this, that, and the third, but she's been telling me like, yeah, you're going up, keep doing what you're doing, I have been working so hard, especially since I was TAD before the ISO team, and I had just came back to my home unit. I was like, I gotta prove myself. I'll make a video about proving yourself later. But this fall was very strategic, because when I started learning that, oh shit, motherfuckers don't even show up to work on time on a Monday. There's no PT. There's no roll call. There's no text messages of people asking, hey, where you at, this, that, and the third. I started doing the same thing. And when I started seeing the pattern, specific people that were higher above me, when I started noticing, okay, these days they don't come to work. These days are there. These days are not there. These days are there. And sometimes it could be one day they're not there. It could be 3 days. It could be an entire week. I'm telling you, I wasn't that bold. I was never taking an entire week, but I was taking like 4 days, 3 days at a time, not showing up to work. It was so bad. It got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I don't want to go to work Monday, so I'm gonna go out on Sunday, party, drink, do a bunch of fuck shit, wake up like 9 in the afternoon, Monday 9 in the afternoon. Look at my phone, and if there is no text, I'm gonna keep doing it. And that was what I did. That was the first mistake that I had ever made. I fell into the wrong crowd, bro. Every night I was out. I don't want to say every night. Every other night I was out partying, drinking, doing fuck shit with the wrong people. Basically, like I said, I boom, boom, boom. So here's the build up, right? So during those, I went there like February. It was like February or March. So April, May, June, July. It was a couple months. I'm not gonna give a definite time date. But just know it was a long egregious time of me doing whatever the fuck I wanted. No one really telling me why I shouldn't do it or what I should do. And then when time came to leave, like, I didn't get in trouble, you know? This entire time, I was like, fuck, I'm invincible, bro. Like, as long as I show up when they need me to show up, and I just make up an excuse, and I just lie to them, and I can just, like, hey, why weren't you here yesterday? Like, oh, yeah, I was at the doctor's, or, oh, yeah, I missed my taxi, because at the time, I didn't have a car. This is also another mistake. They gave me a car at this point in time when I was doing this. So as soon as I got that car, best believe, bro. Best believe, guys, I was all over the island. All over the island. Every other night. And I was drinking and I was driving, which is dumb. Don't do that stupid shit, right? Because one, you could injure someone else, and two, it's just not smart. Like, there's no point for you to be drinking and driving. If you're going to be drinking, at least have a DD, at least have a way of getting home that doesn't involve you getting behind the wheel, right? And like I said in my first video, I wouldn't tell you some shit to do that I wouldn't do. I've been there, done that, and the consequences were fucking egregious. Like, karma caught up to me. This is when I started believing in karma too. Karma had caught up to me so fast. It came up on me and it was like, caught me in the back of the head. I turn around, caught me again. It was that quick. Like I said, during those months, I had got the car, and I was doing this, and then I started feeling invincible. There was one point where it could have been stopped early on, right? This was my warning, right? This was the warning from the universe. I was downtown Naha. I was drinking and driving. In Japan, if you blow over a 0.3, which is like 0.8 here, the scale to the fucking ratio, whatever it is. If you blow a 0.3 over there, which is a 0.8 here, in America, they arrest you. That's it. Cleaned. And now you're sitting in front of a judge trying to explain, like, oh, I didn't know I was drunk, or, it was mouthwash, or whatever the fuck, I actually tried to use that excuse. Didn't work, so, I had to come clean. But what happened was, like I said, those entire months, I was feeling really invincible. One night, it could have been stopped, but that was my warning from the universe, the higher power, karma, whatever you want to call it. That was my fucking warning, and I did not listen to it. So what happened was, going home from Naha, it's like maybe like 6 in the morning. Fucking, I get pulled over by the JP, the Japanese police, and I was fucking shit-faced, right? Normally, again, I'm not endorsing anything, but normally, how people are like, oh, I'm better when I'm drunk and I drive, or I'm better driving when I'm crossfade, or whatever the fuck it may be. People are like, oh yeah, I'm better, it's okay, That's how I thought. Anyways, they pulled me over for something really simple. I was sitting in the turn lane, right? I was turning left, but I had my right blinker flipped on. So I turned left, but my right blinker was flipped on. So they pulled me over, and, I'm sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, this is it. Like, I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get sent back to my home unit. I'm going to get NJP. Everybody's going to be on my ass, blah, 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 blah. I was so invincible, blah, 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 blah. Like, please, right? Well, they breathalyzed me, and it didn't pop. They breathalyzed me twice, actually, and it didn't pop. And I knew I was shit-faced, so that should have been my first warning, right? But I didn't take it. I was, as soon as they, okay, you're good to go, just make sure you don't do that stupid shit where you're turning left, but you turn right, or you turn right, but you go, or you turn your right. Don't do that stupid shit again, right? That's what they told me, basically, right? Don't do that again because it looks suspicious to us. And I was like, okay, good to go, officer. Good to go. Peace. Bro, I sped home so fast, got to the brakes. I was like, holy shit. And like I said, that was my warning, but I didn't take it as a warning. I took that as, I'm fucking invincible. I am invincible, But, like I said, that shit caught up with me. Boom, back of the head, turn around, boom, in the face, dazzle, boom, in the leg, boom, ninja punch. So, around this time, like I had said, went from the ISO team to S1, right? Now, I was going back to my home unit. This is when I had met my staff sergeant, Lieutenant Benog, my sergeant, and Corporal Condado, right? These are my four, how do you say it? This is my family, right? I didn't know it at the time because, like I said, I had went from not being told what to do, coming back home to the unit, being sent to the S1, which is like administration and all that. I was bounced around a lot in the Marine Corps. I experienced a lot just because of that, which I'm grateful for. I don't really have any problems with that. But like I said, those four, Lieutenant Bernard, Staff Sergeant, Sergeant Phillips, Corporal Condado, these four were my family. But I did not realize it because prior to going to them, like I said, I had been bounced around a lot, you know? So, like, I really didn't have no mentors. I didn't have anyone I was really connected with. Same as my childhood. I think did I mention that in the first video? Basically, in my childhood, I bounced around a lot, too. I didn't really have, like, connections. I didn't really make friends, you know? I'd make a couple friends, and then, you know, within a year, I'm moving again. So, you know, peace. That's how it was, and it's kind of still how I am. I keep my circle small, right? I get to the S1, and the first day there is when I realized, like, oh, fuck, you know, I'm back in the bullshit, right? Of course, you know, to me at the time, it was bullshit, because coming from the ISO team, I was doing whatever I wanted. I was fucking invincible, you know? So, you know, I come back, you know, staff sergeant. You know, I remember I was sitting there, getting to know everybody. You know, I got my hands in my pockets, shit bagging. You know, and then staff sergeant walked in. She's like, oh, you're the new Marine. And I was like, yes, staff sergeant. And then she was like, why the fuck are you talking to me with your hands in your pockets on your fucking ass? And that's when the headbutt is starting. Because I'm like, oh my God, bro. I'm like, bro, I went from such a chill place to this fucking place. You know, in my head, that was like, you know? And we started bumping heads, you know? I was like, you know, so over the course of those months, you know, I started getting used to them. Started getting back into the rhythm of, you know, from doing this to doing this to doing this. Because it was like, you know, as time went on, I started to realize that those four, like I said, those four are my family, and they actually really cared. Like, they really cared. Even when I would piss them off, like, if I pissed them off, normally you're getting knife hand, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, you're a shitbag Marine, fuck you. Like, with them, it was like, hey, especially with Staff Sergeant, hey, man, the fuck are you doing? You know? You see how dumb you sound? You see how dumb you look? Especially when I would try to lie to her, which I regret, you know, but then again, everything happens for a reason. So, you know, if I would get caught doing some fuck shit, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, no, Staff Sergeant, I didn't, blah, 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 I'd make some dumb excuse, blah, 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 you know. If I was late to work, like I said, the ISO team, I wasn't showing up to work, so, you know, I went to the S1 all fucked up, like, you know, showtime 7 o'clock, which isn't even that bad, you know, normally it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, showtime 7 o'clock, I'm waking up at 9, I got like 80 missed calls on my phone, I'm like, oh shit, you know, and then I show up to work like, hey guys, and then Staff Sergeant, the fuck you mean, hey, you know, like, which evened me out. But then again, it was very slow from this to this to this. And then the fall came when it went. So like I said, I'm trying to think, when did I get to them? Because it was around October of 2022. Or it was around October of 2022 that I had got arrested. Was it October of 2022? No, it was November of 2022 because it was right after Marine Corps Ball. So what happened was, like I said, I was so invincible, you know, I was doing whatever I wanted, and within the parameters of my new environment, not really new, but my old environment, newish environment, you know, especially coming from the ISO team, I found a way to kind of, you know, just kind of still kind of do what I want, but, you know, still kind of follow the rules. So I was still really, you know, I was really like all over the place, you know, do my job, do it well enough to not really get talked to. But then again, I was still fucking up, you know, so I was like this, and Staff Sergeant was like this, trying to catch me, you know. Sergeant Phillips was like this trying to catch me. Corporal Condado's like this trying to catch me. And, you know, at the time, again, I didn't realize it, but this is when it really hit home. So, the fall. This was my biggest fucking fail, but it was also my greatest it's my greatest success story. So, I was DD for the Marine Corps ball. If you guys don't know, if you're in the military, if you're in the Marine Corps, then you already know. You may know. If you don't know, Marine Corps ball is when the Marine Corps celebrates his birthday. You know, all the higher ups, all the senior enlisted, all the junior Marines, all come together at this big ass fucking festival feast. You eat food, you do toast, you watch a fucking Marine Corps video for the year. And then after that fact, you cut cake, you eat the cake, and then, you know, start drinking, start partying and shit with everybody, right? Like, you could probably walk up to, you could walk up to your mass sergeant, whereas normally you're not supposed to do that. But during the Marine Corps ball, it's like, you know, it's really chill. You walk up to your master and be like, Master Sergeant, buy me a drink, Master Sergeant. And he'll buy you a drink. He'll buy you as many as you want, especially because they got money. But, like I said, so I was very, very careful because, again, at the time, you know, I was still drinking and driving, especially when I was in the S1. Like, nobody knew because I thought I was so smart. You know, I thought I was so cool. Nobody knew. But when this fall happened, right, this is how I know it was, this fucking shit was targeted. Because, like I had said before, I should have took the first warning. That's how I know. My fucking back hurts. But I need to get this. I want to say this as immaculately as possible, bro. Because the way this shit happened was so planned, was so precise, and knocking me down, like, it was literally defined. So, and I'm gonna get to that. So, that night, Marine Corps ball is happening. I'm DD. Don't drink because obviously I'm driving. I don't want all the high reps to see me get in my fucking car and try to take my keys, you know? No, fuck that. So, I'm DD. Don't drink at the ball. I fucking drive Corporal Condado there, and then when we're leaving, I take some of my boys back with me. You know, we head back to the Bricks. Everybody's having an after party at the Bricks. You know, I drink a little bit. This is how I knew. I drank enough to get wavy. Right? Wavy. But I didn't go out that night. I didn't go driving. I didn't do anything. I went up to my room, kicked my fucking blues off, went to sleep. But I had woke up early, right? I woke up early. Because that night I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to go out and party tonight because, you know, Marine Corps ball usually takes place on a random day, you know? It's not on a weekend. It's during a work day sometimes. It might be on a Friday. It might be on a Thursday. It just depends, you know? Especially what unit you're in. When they decide to celebrate their shit. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fucking get myself in trouble. So, actually, it happened on a Friday. And then right before that, we had a 96, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get the timeline messed up. Anyways, I'm not trying to get too into the details of the timeline. I just want to get Johnson. Zajan. Edit that part out. Actually, you know what? Don't. My last name's Johnson. But Zajan. Get it precise, alright? Like I said, this is how I knew it was so precise. So that morning after the ball, right? Apparently alcohol stays in your system, which I didn't know, and depending on what type of alcohol you drink and the time you had drunk it is how long it will stay in your system, right? I had no idea about that. And that's like, honestly, God truth. I had no fucking idea about that. So that morning I wake up, you know, I brush my fucking teeth. I'm like, damn, you know, I'm hungry as fuck, you know. I had a little bit of drink last night. You know, I need to fucking recuperate, right? Go get something to drink, go get something to eat, come back, watch TV, figure out the plan for the day. That was on a Saturday. That's not what happened. So on my way to get food, there's this place called Sukiya in Naha, or in Japan. It's a place called Sukiya. It's like a 24-hour fast food restaurant. You get meat and rice bowls. They might put cheese. If you want cheese and shit and like eggs on it, they'll put that shit on there. That's where I was going. That is literally 5 minutes from the gate. I got arrested 5 minutes from the gate. I got to Sukiya, picked my food up. It's in the passenger seat, right? As I'm turning out, going home, the Japanese police pull up behind me and they turn the lights on. So I'm like, oh shit. I was like, okay, cool. Pull over. Now in Japan, right? If you breathalyze and you pop, you're fucked. If you deny to be breathalyzed, you're fucked, because to them that's suspicious. And you know, what are you trying to hide? If you didn't have anything to hide, you just get breathalyzed and be okay, right? So you know, they pull up. I roll down the window. I'm like, yes, you know, I'm just trying to go eat. What do you guys want, right? They're like, oh, we're gonna pull you over because you have scratches on the bumper of your car, on the back of your car, and your bumper. And I was like what? You know, like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, whatever. So you're like, where were you last night? You know, they ask all the questions. Where were you last night? Blah, 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 blah. Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? You know, I'm like, coming from Sukiya. Got my food right here. Show them the bag of food. I'm like, yeah. Fucking gates right there, you know. They're like, okay, we're going to breathalyze you because, you know, we don't know if you hit something, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, well, sure. Go ahead, do it. I don't give a fuck. I did not drink enough because I'm driving sober. Again, alcohol stays in your system. You can be as sober as you are right now watching this video, or as sober as you are feeling when you're working or whatever, but it will stay in your system, right? So they breathalyze me. I blow. The first time they breathalyzed me, there was nothing. You know, it's a little fucking like tape recorder fucking thing, you know. So I was like, okay, cool. And then the second time they breathalyzed me, they have this thing called a bag, right? So you blow into the bag, fill the bag up with air, and then they plug it into a machine, and the machine sucks the air out, and it gets your alcohol content level, right? The first time I blew, nothing happened. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, they're like, no, we're gonna do it again. And I was like, for what? You know? Well, we want to do it again to make sure that, you know, you are not inebriated. And again, like I said, alcohol stays in your system. Blowing over a 0.3, which is a 0.8 here, is shit. Stop. A 0.8 here, you know, which in the States is fine, I guess. That's what my substance abuse control officer had told me. So SACO. So he told me, like, basically I missed the fucking breathalyzer by the skin of my teeth, you know, and I popped. And when that happened, I was like, holy shit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I didn't even do shit. I'm literally just got my fucking food. I'm going to the bricks. I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to recuperate, right? So the night before, I had enough drinks to get wavy, like I had said, fall asleep, wake up early, like decently early for a Saturday too. Hungry as fuck, thirsty as fuck. You know, brush my teeth, wash my face, blah, blah, blah. Get in the car, go get the food. On the way from getting the food, 5 minutes from the gate, boom, clink, right? Super fast. Like I said, it was like 1, 2. So I remember when they had told me, yeah, you're gonna come with us. I was like, what? It's like, why? It's like, yeah, you blew a 0.3. 0.3, exactly 0.3. And I'm like, really? I was like, are you guys serious? I was like, dude, I literally just got my food. I fucking just came off the gate. I didn't hit any fucking body. You know, I didn't do shit. Why are you arresting me? You know? Because to me, it didn't make sense, right? I'm like, bro, of all the times you guys could have caught me, you caught me today. On some bullshit, right? Like I said, shit happens for a reason, right? So, I'm fucking pissed off. I get to their fucking holding cells, their fucking Japanese precinct, fucking jailhouse, whatever it is, and I'm in there for 3 days, bro. 3 days. 3 days, right? I'm in there for 3 days, bro. Which isn't a lot of time, but it was a lot of fucking time, because those 3 days I didn't have my phone, so nobody knew where I was. At least for like a day and a half, nobody knew where I was, right? 2, it was over at 96, so I was like, if I can at least just make it back to the unit before the 96 and sweep this under the rug, that's how, see, like, again, that's how my head was working, like, you know, I'm still invincible, like, this is nothing, right? I can sweep the shit under the rug, nothing will happen, I'll get my car back, you know, it's just a misunderstanding, blah, 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 blah. no, bro, no. I was in that pen for 3 days, and then that's on the second day, like at night, it really started to set in. Like, oh fuck, I am fucked. There's no way I can get out of here. I'm in here with people that don't even speak. I can't really speak the language to speak with. You know, the only person I can speak with is the lawyer that they have for me, and he only comes in there when he has to come in there to talk to me, or if I request for him. But it's like I can't really just, hey, I need you, you know. So, you know, I'm sitting there for 3 days, and the first thought that went to my head was, oh, fuck, Staff Sergeant's gonna kill me. I was like, oh, fuck, Lieutenant Bernardo's gonna kill me. Oh, fuck, Corporal Condada's gonna kill me. I just named their names. Cut that out. I said I wouldn't name names. I actually cut that shit out. Sergeant. Cut that shit out. Actually, did I? I gotta rewatch this. If I didn't name their names before, I'll cut this out. If I named their names before, if I said their names earlier, yeah, you get the point. But only for you, recorder, you. But so like I said, this shit was so strategic, bro. So strategic in how it happened, because like I said, of all the times I really could have been caught, especially that first time where I knew I was fucked up, I didn't get caught. Like I said, that was my warning, and I should have took that warning, but I didn't. So now I'm in the jail 3 days. Fucking Japanese jail. They make you sleep on the floor. They give you one blanket. If you're lucky to get a pillow, you get a pillow. I did not get a fucking pillow. I was sleeping on the books they fucking gave me. You're in there with 3 other dudes. There's a bathroom on the back wall, but there's no fucking door. So, you know, if you take a shit, you smell like shit throughout the entire cell, right? It was very, 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 very irritating to be caught in a tight space. Not able to move. No phone, no entertainment. So, you know, I had all that time to really just think about where I fucked up, right? Like, man, I didn't even do this and that. And then it hit me. I was like, no. Because the first time it happened, you know, shit, I got away with it. And then I just kept doing it. So this is not even kind of, this is karma. This is karma coming back onto me. It's coming back onto me. And, you know, I started learning, or I started noticing, like, my prison number was 381. 381 means, on the astrology numbers, 381 means I love you. That was my prison number. And the thing about my prison number was when they would talk to me, when the Japanese guards would talk to me, or if they requested me to do something, they would say, hey, 381, 381, 381, 381. Like, they would say it very softly and kindly and with respect. As opposed to when they would talk to the other fucking inmates, you know, they'd be like, hey, you know, 71, you know, 381, come, you know, like, 381, you want food? You know, the food was shit, by the way, but, you know, I had to eat. So, like I said, that was my biggest fucking failure. And it was really easily preventable, especially if I took that first warning. I keep saying that. So, how did I turn it into a success? Well, if you get arrested on foreign soil, you get ninja punched. Like I said, 1, 2, 3. And there's nothing you can do about it. Ninja punch is literally, you know, sake, you know? Super fast, super quick. You can't do shit about it, especially when the decision's already made. Like, there's nothing you can do, bro. There's nothing you can do. You might as well just take your fate, lay down, take it, you know? But the thing about failing is no matter how hard you fall, wait, let me get this right. I want to say this correctly. No matter how hard you fall, right? Are you gonna get back up? You could fucking eat shit, right? You can eat fucking dirt. You can fucking face plant. You can fucking break your teeth type shit. Your face is all fucking mangled. You're losing a fucking arm. Your legs fucking falling off. But are you gonna get back up? Are you gonna let that define you, right? And that's what I started to, you know, I took that as a challenge because, you know, I get back to the unit and like I had said, I was like, oh, they're all gonna kill me, man. I was like, fuck. I had lost my car. I lost my driving privileges. I lost my freedom for if you don't know what a ninja punch is, if you don't know what an NJP is, non-judicial punishment is the official term for it, right? We call it ninja punch because it's like, you know, it's super quick, it's super fast, and nothing you can do about it, and it really fucks you up. My punishment was 45 restriction days and extra duty fucking punishment. So like, if they want me to go somewhere after work, I have to go there no matter what. You know, I could work all fucking day. I have to be in a specific place at the specific time because they told me to, and if I don't go, then the punishments become exponentially more worse, right? Every 2 hours, 24/7 for 3 months, for 45 days. I think that's 3 months. Is that 3 months? For 45 days. Every 2 hours, 24/7 for 45 days. I tell you, those were the hardest days, but they were the most enlightening. I gotta go get gas real quick. Those were the hardest days, but they were the most enlightening. Because one, it taught me, it really, really opened my mind. Because not only did I leave the jail cell, let me get back to, I thought, oh my god, they're gonna fucking kill me. Like, this is it. They're gonna send me back to my home unit. I'm gonna get fucking, you know, like, just fucking kill me, bro. Like, it's over with. But they didn't. In fact, my lieutenant was the first one to actually pick me up and see me. And when she picked me up, she's like, hey, are you okay? Which never happened to me. Like, if anything bad would happen to me, it's not a, hey, are you okay? It's a, you know, go fix your shit. Hurry up and go fix your shit. Go fix yourself. Hey, are you okay? And that really hit a chord, because I was like, fuck, no one really asked me if I was okay. Not even the MPs asked me if I was alright when they came and picked me up. And here's a person that should really be pissed off at me, should really be fucking in my shit asking me if I'm okay. Now, the next person to see me was, who was that? My sergeant. Because she actually, you know, my lieutenant had took me back home to the bricks. And, you know, I get upstairs. I'm in my room. I'm like, holy shit, I'm back, you know. And I was like, it's really setting in. I was like, I'm about to really go through some dark times. Because ninja punches aren't instantaneous either. They just come. That's why they're called ninja punches. They're ghosts. So, you know, I had a good couple of weeks to like a month of freedom, you know. I was still restricted. They restricted me immediately. Do not go off base for whatever fucking reason. You are not leaving base whatsoever, right? Or actually, did I do that? I can't remember. I think I just restricted myself because I did not go off base, you know, because at that point I was like, you know, if I go off base and they catch me off base, and it might be a bigger problem than it already is, and I don't want to get caught for doing stupid shit. I don't want to put myself in that situation to even be caught doing anything, right? So I just stayed on base. You know, if I had to go get some fucking food, I'd ask my boys to go out and get it for me, off base food, or I would just order on base food, or I would just go to the chow hall. I would go to fucking the PX if I needed to go buy some fucking laundry detergent, if I needed to stock up on shit. And I knew I needed to stock up on shit because the restriction, 45, every 2 hours, 24/7 for 45 days. You got to go check in with duty. Now, if you're in the military, then you know what that means. And it's not barracks duty. It's where you work at. So those dudes that sit in that little office, you know, no matter how far it is, and you don't get no rides. You're going on weekends. You're going after work. You know? Honestly, the weekdays were the best because, you know, you only have to go 4 hours. So 2 hours after work and then 2 hours to go for the final check-in. You know, and that was 4 hours for the day, for that day. But on the weekends, 24/7, every 2 hours, bro. So 24 hours, you can divide that by 2. Divide that by 2. Yeah. So that's like 12 times throughout the day. So like you might walk to the fucking duty shit, to the building where you normally work at, wherever your duty is posted. You'll walk there, they'll sign your stupid ass fucking paper, Now you can decide if you want to go home for 2 hours, if you want to stay there for the rest of the day, you know? Because no matter what, if you don't make that 2-hour check-in, that gets written onto the paper. They have their own little catalog for tracking that shit. That gets written onto the fucking paper. And then from there, they'll decide, okay, well, he's not even listening to us. He's not following the fucking instructions we gave him like a shitbag, so we're just going to increase the punishment, right? Those were some really dark fucking days. But, like I said, my family was there. Lieutenant, Staff Sergeant, Corporal Condado. They were looking out for me, bro. And I never really had that. And then my friends as well. You know, restriction days, I'd be fucking coming home at like 12 o'clock at fucking night. You know, fucking balls the clock. Coming home, walking from fucking squadron where I worked at. And, you know, I'd be like, fuck, bro. You know? But they were there for me. And that's another thing, too. I want to get to my friends, but I would probably do that in a different video. That's where I really found out who my friends were and who weren't, right? Try to turn this car off. See the pump. No, I'm joking. Don't blur me out, YouTube, please. I'm just like thinking about that period of my life, because that was so eye-opening. Like I said, the universe fucking got my ass, bro. Karma came back so hard, but it was my biggest success because, one, when I started to realize that all of my old ways of doing shit, all the ways I had picked up from the ISO team of doing shit, did not work. There was no lying, there's no cheating, there's no getting out of shit, you know what I'm saying? What I had learned was, if you just tell the honest truth, like, no bullshit. Like, just be like, hey, you know, I fucked up, blah, 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 I'm sorry. You know, you get by so much farther. So much farther, right? And it's not even about, like, you know, like, if you get caught doing something stupid and you're honest about it, you get so much farther than if you try and tell a lie. And then come to find out, you know, the person you told the lie to, they come back like, hey, you know, I did some digging. What the fuck you talking about? You know, type shit. Because it will always come back on you. If it's not in the moment, if it's not in the day, if it's not the next day or the day after that, it's gonna fucking come back on you, right? But when I was arrested, so Japanese court works differently. You go to the, it works the same. You talk to a guy that's basically under the judge, and he recommends to the judge what their punishment should be, and then the judge gets the final say. So it's like the prosecutor, and then the judge, and then there's a guy, I think there's a guy above the judge. Maybe it's a prosecutor, liaison, some shit, and then the judge. It's like 3 people you gotta talk to. That's 3 different parts of the Japanese system. So, you know, like I had said, I tried to weasel my way out of it, like, oh yeah, you know, it's probably just, you know, it was literally 0.3. Like I said, Sako had told me I missed it by the skin of my teeth. The thing is, the Japanese don't care. At least the Japanese government doesn't care. They don't like American occupation. You know, if they can get a soldier, an airman, a fucking what is it? A Navy? I'm blanking. A corpsman or a fucking Marine. They can get any of those branches. They got you. Army. They got you. You know. For whatever reason, there's a weird, how do I say? There's a weird, like, hatred towards, I mean, it's not even weird, you know, we fucking nuked them, you know, we occupy their fucking lands, under, you know, democracy and all that other shit that the American government pushes. I try not to really, honestly, I'm gonna go into conspiracy theories, but that's gonna be for later videos, right? I'm just trying to build my foundations on. Jesus Christ. It is now 2:38. I've been talking for like 2 hours, for 54 minutes, actually. Hopefully these videos aren't too long. I know I do ramble on a lot, but I'm still trying to get to my point. I tried to weasel my way out of being prosecuted, basically. Oh, you know, why did you pop on the alcohol test? I was like, because it's probably Listerine. I had brushed my teeth in the morning. Liar. And then looked at me, you know, like, what did you do it in the morning? And I was like, yeah, I fucking woke up, brushed my teeth, fucking went and got food. The food's still in the car. It was still in the car, by the way. Like, I got to see the car again to get the rest of my shit out of it. It was still in the car. Along with everything else. And it was black, moldy, fucking, you know. It was like a ha-ha in my face. Because I was really going to enjoy that fucking Sukiya, bro. I really wanted to enjoy that Sukiya. It's like a ha-ha to my face. The car smelled bad. Shit, it was just nasty. They left the food in the car for me. Which, again, I felt like was a ha-ha. Hope you learn your lesson, motherfucker. You know? From the powers that be. You know? Powers that be. You know, watching you. Right? Yeah, so, like I had said, if you tell the truth, you will always get farther. I told him, like, yeah, you know, I did have some drinks the night before, and then he was like, oh, really? He's like, how many drinks did you have? I was like, yeah, like, around 12 shots of vodka, you know, it's not, to me, it wasn't much, right? But, like I had said, it stays in your system, and depending on what time you stop drinking, what kind of liquor you were drinking, it stays in your system. You might have to wait damn near a whole day, like, a whole, like, damn near 16 hours type shit, you know, before you can really start driving around and shit, you know? Even if you feel okay, it's still in your system. So if you get pulled over, you know, that's it, right? That's wraps, which is what happened. So, you know, they gave me the whole spiel, like, oh, yeah, you know, that's not how alcohol works. It's not like you just drink it and it just disappears out of your system. Your body has to process through it. It has to metabolize it. It has to fucking, which I did not know at the time, again. And I was like, oh, shit. So that's why I got caught. I was like, huh. Cool. Now, the success from that fall, that was such an immaculate fucking fall. It was such a great challenge that I had received, because I went from, you know, like I said, staff sergeant, they were all trying to catch me, so I wasn't like a full-on shitbag, you know, I still did what I needed to do, but I was really slick about a lot of shit, you know, getting around shit. So I wasn't the best Marine, but I wasn't the worst Marine. I was like he's okay, you know? Like, he'll do what he has to do, but you might have to tell him to do it multiple times type thing, right? That's what I was. So, I went from being like that to being, oh, you really done fucked up, man. You know? Like, Staff Sergeant wasn't there at the time, I don't think. She got there, like, maybe a week, or, you know what I'm saying? She got there, like, a week after, and that really fucked up my head, too, because I was like, fuck, I really just disappointed everybody. So, you know, a lot of people were really, you know, even though I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the best Marine, you know, I did my part at the shop as best as I could when I first got there. But I really started picking it up, right? Because when I started noticing, like I said, my family, these individuals were actually looking out for me. Like, they were giving me rides. Like, you're supposed to walk everywhere you go. Like, if you got to go to the PX and the PX is fucking 10 miles away, you're walking to that bitch. There's no car rides, right? Or you could get escorted, but it's like, you know, you have to get escorted everywhere you go to begin with. But, like, I was getting rides to work. They were bringing me food, you know, after hours, off-base food. They were really, really looking out for me, helping me survive. Because not only did I have the restriction, I also had my pay cut. Fucking half. So I was making, like, what, $300 a fucking paycheck? $300 a month for 3 months. So I was not making a lot. That's enough to get you some supplies and maybe some fucking snacks, right? You're not supposed to order. And another thing, too, they were bringing me off-base food. They were ordering me pizza and shit. You're not supposed to order food while you're on punishment, right? You're not allowed to really order food. But, of course, you know, my friends were looking out for me. My family was looking out for me. You know, so I was still eating okay-ish. You know, you really only supposed to eat at the chow hall. So, like, they were all looking out for me. So what I had started to do was, you know, I started noticing this, and I was like, man, I was really fucked up. Like, I really came to these people like this, you know, like, oh, I'm fucking, you know, like, where did I go wrong, you know? Like, it's all my fault. That's what I started realizing. Like, I'm my biggest fucking enemy, you know? They were trying to do this. I should have been trying to do this. But instead, I was You know, I wasn't reining myself in. I was just, you know, being me. Being what I was at the time. Damn, my back really fucking hurts. Jesus Christ. Fuck. I need to lay down. But, I was just being what I was at the time, you know? And that, as unfortunate as that is, like I said, this is my success story, because what I had started to do was, you know, at first I thought they were going to kick me out of the office. They were going to send me back to my home unit because my position at that time was mail orderly. For those of you that don't know, you basically handle the mail of the entire unit that you're with. Everything, boxes, packages, important shit. And they don't want anyone that's a liability in the mailroom, right? So I became a liability when I got arrested. So I lost my title, but someone had told me to talk to the colonel, right? I don't even know if I should really talk about that story. I don't really know if I should talk about that story, because that one. Anyways, I talked to the colonel. Not gonna name his name. I asked him, like, hey, sir, you know, I know that being NJP'd has now revoked my fucking license for the mailroom. Is there any way I could stay with the S1? Because I'm knowing, right? Like I said, my family was really looking out for me. I knew for a fact if I went back to my home shop, I got fucked up. I would have got fucked up. Oh my God, they would have torn me apart. I would have been so depressed, dude. Like, I would have been so pressed. Even though my boys are up there, but it's like, that shop, one, where I was working at, in the mailroom, was only like 15 minutes away. So it's not like I gotta walk from, you know, I could walk to the barracks to the fucking squadron in like 10 minutes if I speed walk it, right? So it's not like I gotta make cut any ties, you know, get there, down there on time type shit. I'm literally right there. Now with my old shop, that shit was like fucking goddamn 6 miles away. That was one thing I was worried. I was like, man, that was the second thing I was worried about, actually. The first thing was, like, they're not going to look out for me. They'll let me drown, basically, right? I already knew they were going to do it. So I was looking for a way out of that. And the colonel was like, you know, the S1 is losing someone. You know, maybe you could take over their role as an administrative assistant, you know? Or not assistant, but, like, you could do admin work in there. Help them out, because they're going to be down a person when this particular person leaves. Or left, actually. He was already gone at the time. We were already down a person, right? And they were, you know, they were working really hard to keep everything afloat. So the one thing I did was and I got blasted for this. I got reamed. That's why I was so pissed. She was like, why the fuck would you go to the fucking colonel and ask him a dumbass question like that? The fuck is wrong with you? You're just like fucking up, huh? You're just like doing this, that, and the third. You're just like blah, 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 blah. You know? And I can say now that she's my biggest mentor. And I know if I bring it up to her now, she's going to look back and be like, actually, I'm glad you did that. That's just that, again, that's how great of fucking uptrend I did. Kept my head down. I made every fucking check-in on the dot. Every 2 hours, 24/7 for 3 months. Every check-in on the dot. I'm not gonna say every check-in. There was a few that I had like missed, but you know, like I woke up late. Or fucking you know, I'm trying to get fucking food and I can't hurry up and get food. So you know, now I'm running to fucking, you know, trying to get food from the chow hall. Running to fucking squadron like almost a minute late, right? Like, and it wasn't egregious amounts of time of being late. And there's only one time, but the dude that was on duty at the time was pretty chill about it. He's like, yeah, I understand, dude. Like, just don't let it happen again. At least don't let it happen again with someone that's going to really give a fuck, you know? Get your shit together. You know, I understand that this is a really hard period of time for you. So, you know, he was pretty chill about it. So, I really locked in. Right? I made every check-in on time. Just about every check-in on time that I could make. I started working harder in the S1. You know, I started trying to... I was branching into the S1. Like, I had never done admin work besides the mailroom shit. So that's like keeping track of fucking, keeping track of important information, keeping track of DT. I had learned how to do DTS, which is the defense travel system. I became so good at that. Like, motherfuckers were asking me questions that they should have known. Not my family, but like, you know, the people in the unit, right? Hey man, you know, like, if I do this, what's gonna happen? Or how do I do this in the DTS system, you know? Like, you're the man for DTS? You're the man for DTS, really? Okay, yeah. And I'd be like, yes, sir, I got you. Come take a seat. Come look at my computer. You know, I'd be over there. It took me a while to get good at that, though. It took me a while. And it took me a while to get good at being in the S1 because, you know, I was still adjusting. I was still trying to, you know, a lot of things are very particular in the S1. Doing paperwork, things have to be outlined a certain way. Things got to be in certain places, fonts, all that shit. Like, you fuck up a period, apostrophe, blah, 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 blah. You know, Cesar was always on my ass. Like, why the fuck do you keep missing this fucking period? Why the fuck do you keep missing this fucking capitalizing this word on this fucking sentence? Why the fuck do you keep fucking the date up? Why the fuck? And she was really on my ass in the beginning. Like, it was, you know, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it was so bad that it was actually making me depressed because it's like, wow, I'm just like, I'm so fucked up. Like, I'm so fucked. I'm detrimental to the team. You know, I'm really trying my best, but like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. You know, so like I said, I started locking in. Hard. I started learning my job. I started taking the fucking answers. I started taking the hard questions. I started fucking, you know, typing the papers. I started fucking analyzing my own papers, like, okay, I fucking missed this apostrophe, I missed this fucking thing, I missed this fucking thing, fix it. And then when Sassarine would look at it, she'd be like, oh, okay. You know, I was really locking in because I was like, I don't want this to be what I'm known for. I don't want this to be my fucking final hoorah from the fucking Marine Corps is my NJP. I got NJP once, by the way. If you get NJP 3 times, you're kicked out. You get NJP twice, you become, what is it? You become like, I don't want to say a liability, but like, you become like, fuck, what is the word? What am I trying to think of? You become judged. I'm going to go with that. You become judged. So like, if you try to re-enlist or you try to go to like a different, not a different branch, if you try to go to like, different unit or some shit like that, if you're trying to stay in, re-enlist and all that, you become judge. It's like, okay, well, you have 2 NJPs. You know, you're one in like 1,000 people, and you're like, there's like 10 of you with NJPs, and then there's like the rest of these guys that don't have NJPs, and they've been doing a lot more better, you know, so shit like that. You know, it's very competitive, the environment, you know. You know, one wrong thing on your fucking record, that's like, wow, you know. Sometimes that's what affects promotions too. Sometimes they'll see that one thing in your record and be like, yeah, we're not gonna. And it could be something that happened 10 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You know, it just depends on who's doing the fucking, you know, doing the looking, right? But I got NJP 1 time. And I was already on the fence about whether I wanted to stay in and get out. Like I said, this is 2022, 2023. Last December I got out, right? So, my reason for exiting the Marine Corps wasn't because I had got kicked out. I think it's, like I said, my first NJP. It wasn't like a serious thing. Not to mention I did my time. And I made progress, and I became a name within the unit. I became a person. I became an important person within the S1. I became the guy that knew DTS. I became the guy that could help you. I became the guy that could answer some of your hard questions. I became the guy that was at the door greeting you, like, hey, man, like, you know, how may I help you? And then I started slowly gaining my confidence back, and I know Staff Sergeant saw that, and she started to encourage it. Sergeant Phillips saw that. She started to encourage it. Corporal Condado saw that and started to encourage it. Lieutenant Binock saw that and started to encourage it. Fuck, I said their names, bro. Should I leave it in? I don't know. They started to encourage it. I might as well just leave it in. I already mentioned them like multiple times. They started to notice that. They started to encourage me, and that gave me my confidence to keep going on what I was doing, because you know, if they're encouraging me, that means I'm doing something right. So just keep going. You know, like I said, I started doing this, where I was this for a fucking fat minute. I was this, and then I did this. So, if I have I'm gonna get a picture of my plaque, and I'm gonna post it with this video. I don't know. But yeah, you know, if you're failing in life, don't let it define you, right? That's the whole point of this video. This shit's like an hour long. I hope people actually watch it. I'm so sorry I made this video an hour long. I need to come up with like a script or something. Again, this is just me being authentic. You know, if you fall, don't let that fall be your last fall, especially if it's not your last fall, right? Like, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall multiple times. You're gonna fall far, you know, depending on what happens to you in life. You know, you might fall for a short distance. You might just trip and stumble. You might fall off a fucking mountain. You might, you know, fall from the heavens, right? Just don't let that fall, because, you know, if you let that fall be the thing that defines you, then you're never gonna get up. You're never gonna make progress. You're never gonna correct yourself, you know? So always be about evolving, always be about learning, always be about noticing your mistakes, and taking accountability for your mistakes. That's the point of this video. And that's something that, like I said, the universe taught me. You know, 381, I love you. That was my prison number. I still need to get that tatted. I'm gonna get it tatted on my fucking, probably on my neck. Like just below my fucking neck, like right in between my shoulder blades. I still need to get that tattoo. When I get funds, I'm gonna get that tattoo. 381, I love you. That's what those numbers mean. When I looked it up, because I was already into the like esoteric numerology. You know, I wasn't heavy into it, but when that shit happened and I started, you know, had a lot of time to think and self-reflect in that cell, you know, I started to pick up on certain things that was happening along the way as well, you know. 381, I love you, you know. Yeah. Take accountability for your actions. Don't play victim, especially if there's nothing to play victim about. Don't play victim. It's not going to get you anywhere. If it's your fault, take accountability. Don't lie. Don't cheat, you know? Because in the end, it will just come back to you 10 times worse. And you won't see it coming. It might, and like I said, it's going to be stealthy too. Like, you're not going to see it coming. It's going to happen, and you're going to be like, you know, you're going to wake up like, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, uppercut. Wherever you're at in life. Don't lie, don't cheat. You know, take accountability for your fucking actions. Don't let your fall define you either. The moment you let that happen, the moment you let that lock you in, like, oh fuck, you know, I fucked up, oh fuck, I fucked up, like, oh fuck, I fucked up, like, oh fuck, I fucked up, you know, you start clenching up, right? You might start clenching up. You know, you can't let that happen, because if you clench up and you don't unclench, that could be a state for the rest of your life, for the rest of your fucking life, right? Always continue to evolve. Always continue to self-reflect. I'll probably do more videos about self-reflection, because I'm pretty heavy into that. There's another story going into this, but I'm not gonna mention it now. But just wait. Yeah, man. It's raining right now. Sitting here in the car talking to you guys. What's something, I'm gonna ask a question. What is something that made you smile today? Genuinely made you smile today? For me, it was being in the gym. I'm actually still here. It is now, don't know the time. It is 2:57. It's almost 3 o'clock. Maybe I should have waited on making this video. I have somewhere to be at 8 o'clock, but fuck.